Hello Internet, I am the hero of Julios once again with another episode of the Saltmarsh vlog. Unfortunately, it's going to be a bit of a shorter video because I don't remember a lot of my last session. I kind of hurt my back and was kind of just out of it for a bit on medicine and things like that. So as a result, I only remember the super important keynotes. The first half of the session was spent as a shopping spree, characters going about Saltmarsh doing different tasks, and me as the DM preparing myself mentally for the upcoming battle with Calcifer. Another key point to matter is the conversation between Gellin Primewater and Evander, where Gellin told him that you have got this massive target on your back, Calcifer is going to come and get you, and all of Saltmarsh is in danger. I, Gellin Primewater, have spent a lot of money and a lot of misdirection and put a lot on the line to ensure that pirates do not raid Saltmarsh, that it would be more profitable for the pirates to steal from ships rather than come into the city itself. And you have jeopardized that. I will pay you 50,000 gold to take your team, leave, and never come back to Saltmarsh. Evander decided to tell him, you have to pay my bail so I can get out of jail, to which he did. I will say, Gellin did actually pay the bail to get him out. But he wanted the money up front. And let's face it, Evander has done nothing to make anyone want to trust him. He is a rogue. He's kind of, off on his own as far as characters go. So Gellin Primewater doesn't really trust him of, oh yeah, here's 50,000 gold. Oh cool. Now that I have your money, I'm going to stay in Saltmarsh. What are you going to do? Tell people why I have your 50,000 gold? So thinking ahead, obviously, Gellin is not going to pay him up front, but he's not going to leave till he gets it, and it created this nasty little impasse between the two of them. And then my players, bless them all, bless their little hearts, they do the one thing I didn't think they were going to do. They decide that Calcifer, being out in the ocean, is a problem for a different day. We should take care of the land-based problem. We're going to go take care of Granny Nightshade. And I'm just here like, I spent a whole night working on Calcifer's stat block so that the players could fight Calcifer, so that they could go to his ship and they could fight him and they'd be ready, and I'd have layer actions and his legendary resistance and actions and the things that his crew was going to do and all this stuff planned. And of course they decide to go to the direction I'm not prepared in, because DMs, what player in their right mind would do exactly what you think they were going to do? So my players decide that they're going to go to Granny Nightshade. They're going to head back to the Dreadwood. And how do they get there, you ask? Evander has the helmet of teleportation. So, they decide to teleport. Where do they teleport to? Well, of course they're going to teleport somewhere familiar so that they guarantee get to where they're going. They decide to teleport to Valentine's little cave castle thing. So that's nice. So my immediate thought is, oh, well, he's going to be there. That's his house. So, yeah, because after you defeat a vampire, if you don't kill him with sunlight, or you don't kill him with running water, or you don't stab a stake in their heart, basically if you don't hit a vampire with its normal weaknesses, they turn into a mist and they fly back to their resting place, where they will recover, fully form, and then go about their business. It's been a few weeks since my players fought Valentine, so yeah, he's back. He is in his lair, and the players teleport right to the middle of it. But they didn't know Valentine was going to be there. Valentine didn't know they were going to be there, and Valentine's guest did not know that he was going to have visitors. And that's when the players came face to face with Granny Nightshade herself, whose stat block I had not created yet. But that's okay. So the players there's kind of this standoff. Everybody's tense. Everybody's staring at each other. And Granny Nightshade decides to walk over to a corner, make a globe of invulnerability around herself and her two hag sisters. And she just tells Valentine, go ahead, make a demonstration. Show me what you got. And Valentine had to fight the entire party again. Only this time, the players were not unprepared. There weren't two vampire thralls to help him. And the party didn't have Dryax the monk this time. They had Zorp, the paladin, with the sunblade. So, yeah, his regeneration wasn't working. He was moving with like half of his, he was making half attacks because he couldn't hit with anything. He had disadvantage on his attacks in sunlight. Zorp just wailed on this guy. And about halfway through the fight, Granny Nightshade hits them with the mass polymorph, turning 3 of them into doves. It was really funny because Zorp was actually one of the ones that got changed. And he was just like, oh, can Zorp be like a little jelly dove? And I was like, awesome. And then another player just goes, can he be a marshmallow peep? So you had these 2 doves and a marshmallow peep walking around. It was funny. But eventually Valentine did die. And Valentine died within 20 feet, actually within 40 feet, of the sunblade. Therefore, he died in direct sunlight. So, he's gone. And honestly, satisfying end, because the player whose character got killed by Valentine was the player whose character finished off Valentine. So that actually all worked out really nice in the end. Then there was Granny Nightshade with her 2 sisters, and she tells her 2 sisters to go get her a drink, and the 2 green hags start walking over to where the drinks are. And so as Granny Nightshade's sisters are walking over to get some drinks, the players decide they need to take care of this now, and they decide to attack the green hags. They even decide to attack Nightshade herself. However, she barely flinches at their attacks. This is because even before making her stat block, I had planned for Granny Nightshade to be a challenge rating 20 monster. And these guys are level 8. I'll probably give them a level up next session, so they have that to look forward to. So yeah, she kind of just ignored their attacks. And the Sunblade did nothing to her because on the fly I decided she's immune to necrotic and radiant damage. Because those are just damages you don't see people immune to a lot. So Granny Nightshade is very powerful. And as the players are hurting her more and more, one of them, Ivani, does a decent amount of damage to the green hags, to which she responds with, "Those were my sisters." And she hits her with Feeble Mind. For those of you who don't know, Feeble Mind reduces the stat of the victim of their intelligence and their charisma stats to 1. Effectively just making them a thrall, a useless clump of human being. So Ivani kind of got a system shock and had her stats reduced down to 1. However, I forgot until I was driving home that Ivani wears the Circlet of Intelligence. So it's actually just her charisma that's a 1 right now, because the Circlet boosts your intelligence to 19. So she's still smart, just not charismatic. As the night came to an end, Granny decided she was done playing, and with a wave of her hand, a few of the party members disappeared. Conveniently, the party members whose players cannot make it this week, so that's good. But now, because I was out for a week due to my back, I'm not really sure which players are missing. Anyways, Granny's got a game planned for them, and this is going to be kind of a half side quest, half main quest, as Nightshade decides to test the mettle of these gladiatorial players, and we'll see just how much they learn to fear. The only question on my mind is, now that I'm building Granny Nightshade's stat block for my little Saltmarsh adventure, is exactly what should I give her? I have to be consistent with myself, so I need to give her a lot of HP, because she shrugged off damage, and I have to make her immune to radiant and necrotic damage. But as far as spells go, she only demonstrated Feeble Mind, Mass Polymorph, and Sphere of Invulnerability. So I could give her anything else. Including, but not limited to, Power Word Kill. It's not a spell I usually think about using against my players, but I think this is the kind of villain that would have that spell ready. But hey, maybe I'll change my mind. I don't know. We'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you next time. This is the Hero of Julios, Xing out.